at the moment, KOI looking very good to just keep putting this pressure onto the bot side.
Ooh, Carzzy locked up here, gonna throw down a couple of shotguns, trying to fire back with a little bit of damage, but that should be a quick kill from the side of KOI. Comp one more auto to finish the job.
We got it, we got it.
Look at Varus, guys. Varus.
Okay, okay. Oh, he's dead, he's dead. Look, Sante.
Cassante slowly, guys. Cassante slowly.
Guys, they have Varus ult with you, okay?
Okay, okay, I have to back off a bit.
Elise.
She's dead, she's
Cassante
dead.
first, Cassante.
Look, Sante.
Go Nash.
I got him.
Okay,
Go,
Nash, guys.
Malrang trying to disrupt the lines here. Don't think they had spiders in the 1800s, but they might wish they did after a play like that. Malrang finding a quick and easy kill. Good punish on the bottom side.
Did you just say that spiders weren't a thing in the 1800s?
I mean, randomly evolved in war.
The gents on the cast having just as much fun with the series as we are here on the desk, as Mad moves on to match point after finally getting a win on the red side.
It's possible. They did it.
It is possible. Now, I have two gentlemen here.
What?
Well, I have over there who are very angry at Varus, at the Varus pick.
Now,
Are you mad at them as well?
Yeah, I would like to start out. I did request some stats as well if we do have them available for the Varus, because I believe that Varus is the kind of feel-good champion. These were the Varus stats from Com's 2 games on him, and you can clearly see...
That looks great.
That looks great. That looks like a winning AD carry. That looks like a guy you can reliably play around with. Newsflash, you can't, because when you get to the mid to late game, you can barely do anything with it. You can't do front to back. You're reliable on your skill shot to try and hit them in the back line. You miss them so many times that when you don't hit them, well, it don't matter. And if you can't reliably play around with the lead where you can take down turrets because Matt is pressuring you so hard with team fights, why not go back to scaling?
I have to say, I am so impressed by Mad Lion's coaching staff right now. The fact that they literally banned 3 bot lane champs, mind-controlled KOI into picking Varus a second time, getting the freest win of their lives on red side. It's so impressive to me. They could literally have locked in Teemo AD carry and done the same amount of damage as Varus did in team fights.
Damn.
He did say he was going to double down on me, and he did.
It's true. It definitely is true. Was that the key then? The scaling? You guys called it out, actually.
Yeah,
don't play Lushinami. Don't play Varus.
I've been saying it the entire time. I actually think what we're seeing is what I would refer to as a scrim bait. These guys obviously practice during the week. In practice, there's not a lot of pressure. Therefore, people play so much more aggressive in early game champs and more beneficial. And we've seen pretty high prio so far this weekend on Lucian and on Varus. But in these games that are generally pretty slow, it doesn't matter if they win early game. It's all about the team fights. And in the team fights, these champions just cannot have the same impact that, well, in this game, an Aphelios can.
Okay, so I want to know, if we're not living in a world of Lucian and Varus anymore, is it an Aphelios world? Is it a Sivir world? Like, what are the priorities you guys would rather see?
See, that's the thing, because this series, I still feel like Comp is the better AD carry from how things have gone. But I really think that putting him on the likes of Sivir, for example, is something you could easily do as well in that regard. I think he needs to be a reliable AD carry in the mid to late game. His laning phase is splendid. The problem just is you don't have a sufficient way to carry that laning phase into the mid to late game. And when that then happens, when Matt start these team fight, where they are out team fighting you, you need better tools in the AD carry department to back up a front line on KOI.
There was an AD carry mid that was doing numbers though.
Yeah, the 8,000 numbers
Yes.
in that last team fight. I will say, like, I did appreciate like how much Trymbi was able to like help out trying to peel his backline on the Jan. Had a lot of attempts trying to get people off of him, but still Mad Lions had so many creative ways to come in on the flanks. Like, there was a team fight where Nisqy and Chasy were both looking for a flank while Hylissang's just in mid lane at the same time. Like, leave it up to Hylissang to find the most creative ways to get into a fight. Even though KOI knew where he was the entire time, the way Mad Lions were positioning in the team fights and not getting engaged upon by their 2 or 3 players that were grouped up, they were absolutely pinching down and playing those fights super nicely.
But that also just comes down to the lack of reliable engage, right? You had the Elise Cocoons to pick around and you had the Cassante, but it's really conditional to just find that pick and go for that immediately. And when you start getting pincered around, like the Dragon fight we just saw, the game just becomes really difficult. And I think KOI is a great team, but they are really limiting themselves with the way that they draft at times, putting them in a position where if you don't Astro win this early game, it's going to be really difficult to play later on. And I think that's where the scaling aspect would have to come in.
Yeah, as we get up the picks and bans, a little bit of a coaching diff then, right? There, at this point, if you break it down as such, with the Varus being picked twice, the adaptation coming out of Mad, I think also playing to their strengths in terms of the draft. Yeah, it's just as simple as that sometimes.
I would personally hesitate on the coaching diff section. I'm sure
What?
Brock
In
didn't
this
comment on this.
particular draft?
Sometimes players are a bit stubborn.
Yeah, I was going to say it could be a player ego
That's
thing
what I
as
meant,
well.
like a draft
because
thing.
obviously we try to judge coaches off of drafts.
No,
Because
I didn't mean to make a big conversation
I
about
know.
blaming the coaches.
But-
I'm
but-
sorry.
Other people may
I'm sorry.
blame the coaches.
I take it back.
I think in general, what I want to say is that it's pretty. It feels a little silly here, just talking about draft and blaming it on draft. But honestly, they've gone toe-to-toe most of these early games.
Yeah.
Like, they're actually really competitive. It's really close. And it just all comes down to who has the stronger team fighting when we get to, the Dragons, the Barons, and mid and late game. And that's why securing these strong late-game picks in the AD carry role, maybe in the jungle where Matt got Sejuani instead of Elise, can be so impactful.
What you're saying is it's a draft diff because you need the tools to fight the team fights.
Look, I will say the draft diff for me is Mad Lions' red side yesterday compared to today.
Yeah.
Because I think they made big strides. Even in the red side loss earlier, it looked much better. Again, like you talk about like ego picks. To me, the Caston yesterday was an ego pick in mid. Didn't make sense with the rest of the team. But the comp we just saw was like very obvious how you want to play that, especially in the team fights. Very hard engaged tools. Chasy's very comfortable with the last pick Gnar there as well, so he's going to be super, super happy. I just think it was a very well-rounded comp for Mad Lions and a big departure from the disjointed nature we saw yesterday.
And the question is how replicable it is going into the final one now that all the alarm bells, I think, have gone off in the KOI camp, obviously. And I mean, the idea that they wouldn't make it to a finals, I think, for a KOI who won just last split is really insane. And then the Mad Lions, who I feel like in this game I was really convinced by them. But throughout the series and maybe even yesterday, I never really knew what it was that made them strong in the games that they won. But I think the last game was more of a strong example.
Again, for Mad Lions, it's whenever they're starting a fight on their own terms, I feel like they look really, really powerful. It's something they're always looking for, bringing numbers to a fight, capitalizing off of their pushing lanes. Like, they will try to punish you when, there's a tower that can be dove, a wave crashing in. That's a little bit different, I feel like, when they play on red side in particular, because Elise is going over to Malrang. So for the early levels, they have to be a little bit more on the defensive side. That's what we've seen. And I don't think we're going to see a difference in the draft in sort of the early bans from Mad Lions. Similar to yesterday, Mad Lions have been leaving up the strong junglers. They'll ban away the Maokai, they'll ban away the Ashe, but they'll leave, Sejuani, Elise as an option. So we probably see the Elise locked in first again, with them leaving that open. Then we also probably see the blind Tristana in mid because they need AD there.
And they're ready to go, so we'll see if the Mad Lions can close this out or if KOI bring us to Silver Scrapes again. I hope so. What do you guys think? The casters. What do you guys think?
Okay, I wasn't sure who exactly you were talking to. Maybe someone waited to give us the go command. It's unclear. I'm hoping for Silver Scrapes. I think that would slap. Comp is out here tweeting between games, which is a good sign because we're getting context updates, but it's a bad sign because why is he on Twitter? But he says maybe on hit Varus this time around, so we'll see. We'll find out where it goes. I don't know.
I mean, I'm curious as to what's even going to happen to the Varus. How do I feel about Varus? I mean, it's one of those things where, like,
Zeri is up. It's scale.
It's not like it's failing, right? The Varus is like always finding advantages.
Succeeding in early game and then doing nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing.
But I think that's more to do with how Mad are approaching it and how they're drafting in ways to shut it down. So you want us to rap for you now, don't you?
Go for it. Yeah.
Will they pick the Varus? I don't know, because I don't know rhymes with Varus. Gonna keep rhyming it like Kodak, because you know you can rhyme Kodak.
With Kodak. Wow, you went for it.
What rhymes with Varus?
Porous, but like slant rhyme.
You'd probably have to go like shard us or something, like two words. Yeah.
This is what you were all waiting for.
Yeah.
I hate freestyle rap.
I don't know. Yeah.
I warned you all. I warned you all. Anyway, Jace banned from KOI, unsurprising after Chasy's performance in game 2.
Damn, Caitlyn. Also surprising because they banned it every time.
Yeah. Will we perchance see Maokai banned once again from KOI? Huh, interesting.
Moly.
Maybe we'll see an Ashe ban from Mad Lions. I don't know if we will.
Are you gonna 4-for-4 it right now?
Let's find out. Will it be Ashe?
Oh, he's done it.
Let's see if we can get number 5.
What was that?
I think he's cracked the code.
He's done it.
KOI.
It's the revolution.
It's the revolution.
He's got the code.
Wait, I've forgotten what they banned.
No,
I was gonna say would.
okay.
I thought that they would do something else. So there we are. Good thing I didn't guess that one.
I think they like Malrang on more impactful mid to late game
Do you mean
champions.
Sejuani?
I guess. Like
I was
Sejuani,
gonna
that's-
say they were definitely gonna pick Sejuani.
But you're in a situation where once Vi is picked here, all the tier 1 junglers are gone, but they're gonna give the Vi up.
Huh?
What? This pick
Azir
wasn't even
first-
contested.
Yeah.
Vi is up.
I guess they don't care about the Vi. I mean, clearly
Vi
they don't
stands
care
for
about
viable.
the Vi.
No one else stands for viable with these other champions banned away. The Wukong did not look great. Now it is a scaling team fighting tool, but Elyoya dismantled KOI with the Vi last time around.
Azir desirable? I don't know if you can make it work.
Desirable.
Ever since we got to what rhymes with Varus, we've gone off the rails, boys.
So you have options here as Mad. You could just go Aphelios once again if you want to, if you think it's safe enough. They could also lock the Varus in themselves. I don't really expect that.
Oh, no.
Ooh, are we
Oh,
going to
no.
see a return?
Okay.
Guys, you don't
No.
have to lock your AD carry in here if
No,
you don't want
okay.
to. I'm down for
Don't do
Rammus. I love Rammus here.
Okay, all right.
It's Aphelios once
Rinse
again.
repeat.
Yep.
So scaling, matching scaling right now. We got Aphelios, we got Azir.
I think Zeri Lulu still a great option into the Aphelios. You still have that scaling as well. You take away the opportunity for the Lulu to go across, and you should be able to get at least a decent amount of push in that bot side. Plus the attack speed then for the Azir.
And we saw in the series yesterday versus SK that Zeri Lulu really good in Divide. You just stand next to a wall, she can never kill you, and you out 1v1 her with the help of the Lulu.
Ezreal Karma?
Ooh, this is a very defensive
Interesting.
bot lane
So,
choice.
okay, well, I mean, KOI are going for range, basically. Azir Ezreal is not that uncommon in the LEC. We've seen it a bunch of times during the regular season. And basically the whole idea is create space, disengage, poke, good teamfight damage. You're now just looking for teamfighting tools. So this is where things like Ornn, Sion have huge amounts of value, Gnar to a degree as well.
The biggest problem I see for Malrang, though, is you still don't have a jungler locked in, and now you're going into the second ban phase as well. So not only are you going to get rid of things like the Wukong, then you can obviously ban away some of those big engage tools as well on KOI's side, because then you're kind of looking, going, all right, well, Malrang doesn't really have anything he can play for engaging unless he wants to go for someone like a Zac or something weird, and then you're taking away those opportunities for Szygenda, which makes KOI a little bit unfortunate.
Really good ban. I love that ban because we talked about needing an engaged jungle, and now, as you rightly said, the pool can be pinched even further. Wukong, I think, is a fine ban, but I'm thinking about other frontline that can act as an engage, like Zhao is something that Malrang used to play a lot of, that maybe Mad Lions want to get rid of.
Zac is the only other one that kind of stands out in my mind, and he is still fairly strong with Radiant Virtue, but not, I think, amazing.
The big thing we have to assume here, if we're going to give KOI the benefit of the doubt, is that there is something in Malrang's back pocket that Mad probably do not know about. Otherwise, it could be a bit difficult here, the fact that they've let Malrang far this far down and pick advance. But there has to be something special, because the Jarvan is an obvious ban. They can take Wukong if they're worried about the Wukong, but even then, I don't think the Wukong's the biggest threat. They're still going to take it off the table.
It's a tough one. I honestly don't know what Malrang is going to bring to the table. On the other side, though, the fact that you're already seeing the Carzzy banned away, maybe Nisqy's eyeing up something like the Silas again, which can help out quite a bit. Try and see if you can steal some of these engages. But honestly, there's not a huge amount there where you're like, oh, this is the best opportunity for Silas. I think opting towards something that can provide a little bit of that engaged, like honestly, the Gragas that we saw again could be a good opportunity.
Yep, nothing wrong with the Gragas. Has a lot of sustain. I was thinking Ari, maybe an alternative.
True. Yeah.
But
there's the Zin.
There's the Zin. All right. So he's going to fall back to Comfort. I was looking back through some of his old champions. I was like, Trundle, maybe. Volibear, maybe. Hecarim. But it looks like that they're just going to stick with what they know. Zhao, Gnar, they will act as the front line. Admittedly, these two champions do provide fairly solid engage if the Gnar can find a good flank. But yeah, I mean, eyebrows raised for KOI. It feels like that they're defaulting to Comfort. When they played up against G2, this was the style of composition they went for, and they were able to find a huge amount of success with it.
Yeah.
Largely because they're still able as a team to find early leads. And now Chasy's Irelia will be brought out here in game 4. Wow.
Nisqy's Irelia?
No. It has to be Chasy's. It has to be Chasy's. This pick is specifically as a counter to Gnar, right?
We'll find out. I think you're probably correct here, but yeah, important to highlight, Chasy gonna bust this one out. So some very volatile lane matchups when we look across the board. Important to note, if we come
I'm
into the
excited.
mid-game even, huge range advantage for KOI, but they find themselves in a similar predicament to the previous game where immediate reliable engage tools are limited. Gnar, very telegraphed. Zhao, a single form of dash forward, not even an immediate piece of hard CC if he does not have the 3-talent strike up and ready to go.
Also very difficult for them to get in with the Gragas, so I think Nisqy going to be throwing out those bombas, seeing what he can do and how he can try and impact this game. And if Chasy gets ahead, I'm excited to see what this Irelia can do.
At the start of the split, Chasy, we did an interview with him, and before we tossed it to a break, the question was asked, is there anything you want to say to your jungler as we go and hear from him on the other side? And he said, please gank top more. Throughout playoffs, we have seen Elyoya consistently finding success by ganking through top lane and enabling Chasy as a carry top laner. Now on Irelia, we're going to have to see that again. Elyoya, Nisqy, and Chasy, show us what you can do in the top side of the map, and if you can disrupt the tried and true comfort that KOI are bringing here in Game 4.
All eyes on the Rift. Can Mad Lions close it out, or can KOI bring it back? Let's get ready for Game 4.
Thank you so much for joining me ahead of this game. Tell me about the top side. Irelia for Chasy, not a pick that we've seen play so far, but was his idea here?
This is something that we had prepped from beforehand, so I would say he's pretty confident on the pick, and I'm pretty confident in his ability to execute it, so I guess now we just put our trust in him.
Any insights on how the top side of the map should play out in the first few minutes?
Bomba.
Bomba. Back to you guys.
Insight.
All I needed to know.
All we needed to know, really. One word covering everything. Here's what I'm going to say. I love the Irelia because it's hype. Don't know if it's going to work. My concern is the Irelia being top means Malrang is going to go top, which means Elyoya has to go top, which means the real losers in this entire set of events are Carzzy and Hylissang, because they're just going to get poked and pushed in by a Karma Ezreal, unless, of course, they can do something to blow this lane open.
My friend. Do you know of a man named Mickey X?
Yes, I do.
Otherwise known as Michael X?
Yes.
He, at level 1 on Nautilus, will do this thing where he just walks up and Qs you.
Yes.
I have a strong inclination that he's going to look to do the same thing.
Again, the problem with that is Vedius doesn't have any abilities.
No,
He has no. I cannot. His level 1 is trash. The only advantage he has is range and sustain. He can get through level 1 okay, but he's not killing anybody.
You know, that's a valid point. Don't think Hilly cares. I really don't. Last game, we literally saw him on rail, all in a Janna at like, what, level 2?
Okay,
Hilly,
good point.
man.
Level
Chasy?
2 coming in for Chasy.
Ooh. Okay, some cool Irelia tech. You can kill almost every top laner in the game with a fully stacked passive and level 2. But you do kind of need to land the stun just so that you can reset your Q.
Yeah.
Needs to be careful though. It's very easy for Irelia to get the push early, and I like the pathing that Elyoya took, covering for Chasy in these early levels. It's where Irelia is often most volatile, and Elyoya doing a good job. I don't expect them really to get a kill here. Elyoya just sacrificing his time, but look how Malrang is responding. I wonder if this is just deep level understanding from Malrang, recognizing that Elyoya is very likely looking to cover his top side, or instead he's just trying to use the Prio on bot to invade on the bot side jungle.
I heard from Marcoon on Euphoria, one of the things that makes Malrang so incredibly good is dodging vision in the early game. Now they're going to suspect that they know where he is now that he has been, or that they've spotted out the topside jungle and know that he is not there.
I think this is Elyoya reading Malrang as well. Malrang has gone for the exact same clear every single game this series. And Elyoya is like, cool, I'll just go top, spots his counter there, knows his bot side is going to be taken care of, and now can look for the dive with Chasy here as Szygenda goes for this wave.
A little risky though.
Here. This is a game-defining play. If they can kill Szygenda and get out unscathed, they can turn this game in their favor instantly. Szygenda flashing out to safety. Patience coming in from Chasy, but he does not connect on the stun. Now Szygenda stepping forward. 1 out of 3, hyper proc. Still going in. Gnar on the way. Well played by Szygenda to survive out in that exchange, to push Chasy out of lane as well.
Now, the good news for KOI is that Malrang gets to take this entire bot side, whereas Elyoya gets nothing. Now, there is an opportunity for him to potentially go back into the topside jungle, but he doesn't have information on what Malrang has done. Malrang could have just taken blue, based, now be making his way up towards the top side, and Elyoya has to respect that possibility. So the best he can really play for is the top side. Scuttle Crab, as moving into the enemy jungle, is a little too risky for the time being.
Yeah, didn't get to spot that.
He's doing it anyway.
Malrang,
My apologies.
I was thinking he was looking to see if he could spot Malrang on the ward, but I don't think they quite did. But I think at this stage, they're expecting maybe he's still hovering around, allowing Comp and Trymbi to keep pushing in. So at least a good read from Elyoya. As you said, it is a very much a blind read and just a shot in the dark, but will pay off for them at the moment as Trymbi stepping up, doesn't get the ward into the bush, though.
Wait, is it?
Is it? Oh, it is. It is.
Oh, it is. My apologies. Wow, okay.
Thank you, observers.
Thank you so much.
Highlighted.
Nice. Well, we've seen that ward a couple times. Elyoya making his way back towards the top lane. Szygenda, no flash, but this time Malrang is here.
Flash. Round 1. You highlighted it, Betty. Malrang in the area, waiting for them to fully commit. Sends out burst damage early on is big. They have a level advantage. Meanwhile, on the bottom side, perfect engage as the gun swap comes through from Mad Lions. That's a double snare now following up. Meanwhile, on the top side of the map, look, they're trying to finish off Szygenda. Szygenda gonna hop over the grub to make it out to safety, and now they're turning their sights back into Malrang. Meanwhile, on the main picture, Carzzy and Hylissang still trading blows back and forth. 2 fights across 2 separate screens, but here comes Nisqy.
The bomber!
1 belly bomb! 1 bomber! And a double kill! Mad Lions in the top side!
And they're still alive in the bottom end. Larssen doesn't get up to the top side fast enough, and Mad Lions will keep the Revolution alive.
Unbelievable. Nisqy finds the perfect timing for a roam and is able to make the bomber happen. Look at the advantage that Chasy has in the 1v1 now. The repeat ganks mean so much, and they have paid off for Mad. So Malrang gets spotted on vision. Just look at the minimap. Look at what Nisqy's doing, making a beeline towards the top side ahead of Larssen so he can get involved in the fight. Malrang is able to flash away from the stun. This creates space between Chasy and Elyoya. Szygenda then is able to bounce away using the Gromp. Good damage still comes out from Elyoya and Chasy, but it's really the arrival of Nisqy and that minion wave being so big means that a dive is inevitable, and Mad secure the kills. Easy pickup for Chasy, easy cleanup for Mad.
Repeat on the top side. This is so hard now for Szygenda to play out. Good stun going in. Chasy out, level 6! This man unleashed on the top side. Malrang running for his life, but now Trymbi trying to save the day, but Trymbi might be another name on the list. Chasy looking to use the minions to escape. He doesn't have the Q cooldown up yet. Malrang dropping down. It is domination on the top side from the Mad Lions.
And Chasy is popping off here. He said at the start of the split when he did his interview as a newcomer that he wanted to go up against Malrang, the old Damwon Kia plus challenger team, jungler and their top laner going head to head, and Chasy is putting Malrang in the dust.
A 1.5k gold lead is what separates the top laners right now. Chasy is a level 7 Irelia, the Hex Flash from Hilly.
Hook trying to predict. Comp. Dash out to safety. Hilly taking a bit of poke back in exchange. But gentlemen, again, Chasy, you talked about it. His performance last year, we weren't sure what to expect from him when it came to coming into the LEC, but he is a monster. Jace, a champion that 90% of the top laners in this region absolutely cannot play, he busts it out. Irelia, the same damn story, and again, with help from his jungler, he is showing us how it's meant to be done.
I mean, we can contrast both top laners in that when we look at Mad Lions and KOI coming into this year, they made changes to their top side of the map. Part of the reason why they made these changes was to have more options of lanes to carry through. And I feel like that Chasy has delivered, and Mad have enabled him to be this big carry. We didn't see it at the start of the split, but so far in playoffs and in the group stage, Chasy has been a monster.
And the thing is, we've seen him bring out things like the Fiora as well, where he gets these early leads and still looks very good, but hasn't been able to have that same impact because Mad haven't quite been able to set himself up for success when it comes to 1-4 or 1-3-1 situations. But Irelia is a champion that can do a lot in team fights as well, and it will rely on Larssen to try and buy space for his team against Chasy, because 2-0-2, Cull halfway done, this Irelia is going to be a monster.
Elyoya looking for a gank on the top side once again. Again, look at the little portrait. You can see that little pink bar. Elyoya going to tick over to level 6. And now the ultimate is available. Szygenda still no flash. And Mad, they don't care about the ward. They're looking for the dive.
Just wait for the Mega Gnar to fade away. They might not even need to wait. The punt back doesn't matter. Here comes the Vi ultimate. Chasy can immediately follow up with the stun. Szygenda trying to back out to safety. Dash to a creep, get the stun follow. Goes a little bit wide. That means the play should just fall apart here. They're gonna keep going anyway. They're just gonna dive him under his tier 2. There was no one in the area to respond.
What can Szygenda do? Like, He's just getting dived at his tier 2 tower. KOI are trying to cross-map, but the problem they have is that when they ran the Varus in the bot side, they were able to actually proactively set up dives. Ezreal Karma doesn't give you that same level of agency.
And they're not even getting a victory in that bot side either. Once the wave is picked up, they're actually falling behind.
Hylissang's going for level 1. Malrang, he's going to try to kill him. Malrang finally getting level 6, mitigating some of the follow-up damage, but down goes the jungler. Trymbi could be next. Larssen from behind. Larssen has to be the difference maker here. Maybe he can get the play done. Carzzy, red and white, still trying to fight. Face first into the Ezreal and Karma. It will not work out, but Nisqy gets one back in response. Now he needs to make it out of safety. KOI desperately need to get this kill. They need to take Nisqy out of the equation. Comp leaping forward. Nisqy, how long until the body slam? He should be able to make it out of this one. Comp flashing forward, full confidence here. One more Q should do it. Can he land it? Can he connect? No. Nisqy with the confidence on the side step, but Larssen will finish the job. Meanwhile, on the top side of the map, Herald going down.
So this is good news for KOI. They're able to pick up 3 kills in exchange for 1, and they're able to get a bit of gold back. Oh, but Chasy's looking to kill Szygenda once again.
He's got the Q reset. He's just going to walk in. Now Elyoya over the wall. Big damage. Malrang, no ultimate.
He gets the
creep blocked a little bit here. Maybe
they
can
ult.
re-engage. Ulti is there, but he doesn't have any mana. Chasy all out of mana, just enough to dash out to safety, just trying to auto down, but the passive is not fully stacked. Chasy now needs to retreat. Elyoya flashing out to safety. KOI, if they can keep this play going, maybe they can turn it. Chasy just has the base stats to find another kill. They can't get the shutdown. Elyoya, the hero play to body block for the top. Oh my god, it is insult to injury finally. The shutdown will come through, but it goes into the arms of Trymbi, not the target that they wanted on. Disaster for KOI. Trymbi on a one-man mission to turn this game back in the favor of KOI, because here comes Comp. Here comes Larssen, the bottom side from KOI is here. The Bomba coming in, but do they have the damage? No! The shutdown there, and now Nisqy is in the meat grinder. 3 members of KOI trying to finish the job, blinking health bars, but they are unconcerned. They should finish him here. The barrel, can he turn it back? Nisqy trying to heal how long in the pass? They will get the shutdown.
Oh my word, the bot lane of KOI is coming up clutch right now as Larssen as well continues to pick up kills. 3-0-1 for the mid laner of KOI, 2-0-3 for Comp. And while Chasy is becoming this monster in the top lane, the bright side for KOI is that they still have their carries shining as a way to still win this game.
Especially if they can hit the mid game in the stride. 2 items on towards Larssen and Comp could be so huge for them to try and play through. And you could see Mad Lions really wanted to make this play work for them. Nisqy TPing into the top side, but KOI, more members in the area and able to turn that one back in their favor.
You have to wonder if Mad was just getting a little overzealous. The damage has already been done in the top side of the map, but they're really trying to add insult to injury. You have to wonder at what point is it too much, because now they overextended. Comp and Larssen were able to respond in time, and they picked up a lot of gold. Essence Reaver now completed for Comp. You can see the Ludens along with the Sork Shoes also finished. Nisqy now matching Szygenda in the side lane.
Szygenda's just so far behind. He's trying to take advantage of that fact and just keep bullying this poor little Gnar. One more auto, one more belly slam should just do it. Szygenda trying to run out safety, enough movement speed, or is it? Nisqy, full confidence here, not going to connect. Elyoya's coming on the backside though, that should finish the job. Carzzy gets hit by the wind, becomes lightning. They could look to re-engage. Szygenda's still standing, waiting, sidestepping. Elyoya going to finish the kill there, but meanwhile, KOI in the mid lane able to grab one back.
But I still think this is beneficial for KOI because, sure, Mad is shutting down a player that's already out of the game and you're making this top laner more relevant, but Comp is just gaining more advantages elsewhere on the map. I believe it was Malrang that ended up securing that kill in the mid lane, but for every time Mad invest resources into attacking Szygenda more, elsewhere on the map, KOI are getting something back. And this gold difference, considering how strong Chasy is, he's pretty much the gold difference between the 2 teams right now.
Absolutely is. It's important to highlight, if Chasy is not there, there's really no gold advantage. There's in fact a gold deficit for the Mad Lions. It has to be highlighted. Is Chasy getting poked out here by Larssen? Has to be willing to full commit for the all-in, but you can see Trymbi in the area, waiting in the darkness, ready to punish if he does try for it. Yeah, coming over the wall. It's a 2v2 on the top side, but the rest of the team is on the way up. Mad Lions have to be careful. Chasy, full confidence here, just trying to clear the wave, one-shotting it, healing back up very quickly. That's the courtesy of the Cole, as well as the Blade of the Rune King.
Now you're seeing Comp and Trymbi, though, with pushing mid, consistently leaning towards this top side and making it really uncomfortable for Mad. Carzzy and Hilly can't leave from underneath their tower, and it's always given KOI this first move advantage. So as long as they can keep pushing up here and keep Chasy in check, it should be good enough. Rift Herald dropped to try and take down that tower who's very low in top end.
3v3, hook lands.
They need all of their burst hit Chase here. This will fall apart instantly, but right now Malrang's getting taken out before the fight even starts. Malrang now running out to safety, hoping desperately to get something back. Elyoya grabbing the kill. Comp's ult going a little bit wide. Larssen does so much damage. Maybe Larssen can turn this backside step on the hook is big. Chasy now leaping forward, but Larssen pushes him back. He says, not today. He gets a second. He's looking for 3. Carzzy on the way in, but is it too little, too late? Larssen nowhere left to go. Carzzy grabbing a massive shutdown. Hylissang ready to go right back in with the hook. Going just a little bit wide. The charge will come through. The tower will fall. Carzzy still here. A bloodbath in top lane.
The Emperor is not going down without a fight, though. This is Larssen's pick. When their backs are pushed against the wall, he relies on what he knows best. 5 1-on-1 now, able to find a double kill and able to secure both shutdowns means he's going to secure a lot of gold. Mad Lions, they start this fight by focusing down Malrang.
They do manage to pick off Malrang, but again, it's a kind of an overextension. Chasy, great double stun onto Larssen and Trymbi there to stop them being able to follow up. But at this stage, just try and cut your losses. But as they try to turn, they're waiting on Hilly's hook. It goes wide, which baits the rest of the team to go in. Larssen immediately gets the Emperor's Divide to shut down Chasy. And yes, Carzzy's up here, but now Elyoya is in the bot side.
Yeah, on the chase, the 2 weakest members of KOI. Turning tail and running. Nisqy coming in over the wall. They're just trying to find the retreat. They're trying to find a way out. Meanwhile, on the top side, Larssen still farming. He's the one we need to keep our eyes on in these fights. Malrang just going to retreat alongside Szygenda.
I think one of the big things to note as well is both dragons at the moment have gone over towards KOI. So 3rd dragon in 5 minutes for them.
Yeah.
With a great team fight set up from the Azir, from this Ezreal as well, who's been able to get up towards that 2nd item. This is where Mad Lions actually need to try and figure out how they want to try and play this map. Hilly, the Lone Ranger, towards the top side as he waits towards Nisqy to get up here.
Larssen taking his time. I think he doesn't have too much to be worried about right now. Malrang making a beeline towards top lane as well.
Trying to stall for time to get the Q cooldown back up so he can get the full length dash out to safety, now dashing back. Meanwhile, on the bottom side of the map, Szygenda again just going to get bullied out here. There's no way he makes out of this one, and on the top side, Larssen will escape.
So another kill gain for Mad Lions. But again, KOI, good with the cross map. They recognize that Szygenda doesn't get to play this game. And I can already see it now. In the event that KOI is able to bounce back from this deficit, there's going to be a top gap message. I can already see it.
Confidence here. TP now coming in. Hylissang locking up comp for now. But Hylissang in no man's land. Hylissang throwing away his life to just try to get this fight started, kicked off. Carzzy finding CC on both. Gale Force forward, taking the Ezreal out of the equation. It's Larssen again on the backside. Larssen versus the world will shove Carzzy back in, but Nisqy now ready to punish. Nisqy and Elyoya so damn strong. Larssen's got no space to maneuver, but the Sand Soldiers, they're doing so much damage. The flash out to safety, and Nisqy the bomb, but one more time, the double, the triple in his own jungle.
And that Chasy wasn't even there. That was just Mad Lions bullying their way through KOI, and now they'll be able to get the Rift Herald. I was about to say KOI, but Rift Herald can try and trade and keep the cross map going, but now Mad Lions get the kills and they get the objective.
You can see KOI doing their absolute best to claw their way back from this deficit. This pick is a good one. Hylissang is out of position, his team is not there, and Hilly's just using everything that he can to kind of do what he can. A good ultimate from Carzzy, and the fight looks good initially as the TP's coming in from Larssen. A great ultimate from Nisqy gets that kill onto comp, and you think at this point Larssen has the damage to be able to turn this around, especially with the assistance of Trymbi, and he comes so close to being able to do it, but Elyoya with the last second flash over the wall, and Nisqy with the E means that he has all he needs to get a triple kill. Mad Lions now with a 6k gold lead.
And at one point it was just Chasy that was the problem, but now the entire top side looking strong. Elyoya as well, 2.8k gold ahead of Malrang. Well and truly shut down a 5k gold lead. Coming in for the side of Mad. Larssen burning the cooldowns there. TP now coming in. Elyoya immediately gonna ult. That's the combo. They knock it back. It's so damn clean from Mad.
And you still have Rift Herald here. Mad can keep this push going. Looking at the mid lane as well. Carzzy and Hilly trying to put pressure on towards that mid lane turret. So always threatening more of these objectives, more of this gold that can go into their back pockets.
Oh my words. Larssen, you have to feel for him. You can see how hard he is trying to make these plays happen for his team, and he just wanted to catch the wave top lane. But Mad Lions collapse once again. They secure the mid tower. They have the Herald. Are they going to look to drop it here? It looks like for the time being, no. KOI are in a very difficult position right now, and while they do have the tools to potentially bounce back, it is going to be a very large hill to climb.
So difficult for KOI. Champions. They rebuilt the season. Regular season a struggle, safe to say, but bringing it back so incredibly confidently in best of threes. Losing to G2, outmatching Mad completely in game 1. Game 2 and game 3 turning very quickly in the favor of Mad. Mad figuring out red side, figuring out how to make things work, and now full confidence as they locked in the Irelia. And Mad Lions put their money where their mouth is with a pick like this. And now you highlighted a Vedius. It's all eyes on Larssen to try to bring this one home. He has the most late game damage potential. Maybe the Ezreal can get something done. Going for a newer build here with the Navori can dish out a lot of damage, but Larssen, the only person who's really been able to make these big plays to match what Mad Lions have been putting down.
Yeah, exactly that. I think that Comp and Larssen have the potential. Szygenda, though, is looking to get a pick on a Nisqy. Trymbi's here to assist.
Very strong still. Szygenda very weak still. One more auto, he has to flash to safety. Playing on the edge here, but well played nonetheless. Trying to finish the job. Now they can take this down. Big shutdown. Larssen coming in to scoop it up. Shut down over to the Gnar. 700 gold into his pocket as Mad Lions fire back in the mid lane.
They try to make the cross map happen on top side, but they're a little bit too early for it. Mad read it and immediately are going to end up cracking open the base. Both solo laners are still on the top side for KOI, so you're not going to be here to defend this.
One more charge. Inhibitor line almost broken open. Mad Lions not wanting to commit to that one. Dragon about to respond. They can slow down the soul stacking for KOI if they take this one.
Now, KOI have options. They can either look to try and contest to make this win condition of a soul possible, or they can instead accept that, hey, we're already 2 dragons up, we don't need to fight this, we can instead just focus on buying time and securing as much farm and experience as possible. It looks like that's exactly what they're going to do. They're going to give over the dragon, try and get what resources they can back. Szygenda securing level 11 means that that 4.9k gold difference now dropped to a 4.6k gold difference between the 2 top laners.
Everyone on KOI is going for Nisqy in the top side, which leaves Chasy alone on this bot side. This has to work, or they're going to end up falling behind. And Nisqy, he still has flash.
Body slam out, flash still up, barrel still up. Flashing first, holding on to barrel for now. Looking to knock Comp back under the tower. Good damage, good response. Trymbi is there, though, to make sure that nothing sticks.
Pops the heal. Comp worried about the amount of damage that Nisqy might have. Baron is alive, but I don't think either team is really going to force it. Mad, though, could use it as a tool, given how powerful they are in the game right now. Got to recognize that Nisqy and Carzzy, even though this game has pretty much largely been about Chasy, are still very strong themselves. Nisqy 7 kills. That triple kill that he was able to find earlier, and the picks that he's been able to find here and there have greatly benefited him and kept him largely on par with Larssen. Now Mad setting up good vision around the Baron and threatening KOI to face check.
And right now, for KOI, again, the pressure continuing to grow. Not only is this match point, but Mad Lions can make mistakes. They're so far ahead, they can throw away 1 or 2 kills. Hylissang can play over-aggressive once or twice, and they will still be fine. But KOI, if they lose another big fight, there's an open inhib. They can't afford to get Baron up. They can't afford to lose anything else in this game. It's so difficult as Mad Lions are already on the objective, and KOI, I don't really know how they respond. They have no vision. They have no control. They have no wave priority. They have nothing.
Comp doesn't have the ultimate either. Hylissang gonna act as bodyguard.
4K. Getting lower. Malrang desperate. Maybe he can turn it into a 50-50 knockback. Is clutch from Nisqy to deny entrance to the pit, but Chasy now looking for an angle. Chasy looking for a fight. He manages to hit 2 with the ultimate. It's going to be big. Off to the side. Chasy looking to get the reset. He's dashing in onto Trymbi. Almost one-shotting Trymbi. Flashing to safety, but it's Larssen over the wall. Free firing with the Sand Soldier. Szygenda trying to buy as much space. Chasy again trying to re-engage Elyoya over the wall. Hylissang. Mad Lions. They smell blood in the water. They are ready to keep this fight going. Trymbi still standing. Comp still standing. Chasy so low, but Mad Lions, have they found the angle? Comp. The snare connects, but they can't get it. The Baron still dropping in favor of Mad. Larssen now running for his life. He doesn't have the luxury of an empowered recall, and here comes Elyoya to finish the job.
Larssen ends up falling at the end of the fight. They tried to buy time, but it's all Mad Lions. They walk away with the Baron. They have a 9,000 gold lead, and Mad Lions are looking convincing in this game.
Managing to keep KOI away from the Baron for so long, and you can see the damage from Chasy and Elyoya immediately onto Malrang. And at this stage, Chasy doing a great job of keeping the backline interested, hovering around Comp and Larssen. Larssen forced to immediately disengage as he comes over, which sets up for Elyoya and Hilly to follow over the wall. And it's just about chasing down the last few hits and bruises that they want to give to KOI here.
KOI are doing their best to kite back, but the multiple backline threats that are just coming out from Mad make it so difficult for Larssen and Comp to freely dish out the damage. And even when they do, they don't get to do it for long. Chasy has his eyes constantly on Larssen, and he tries to mitigate what he can do in this fight. So if he's able to create space between him and Chasy, guess what? Elyoya right behind him, looking to try and shut down the mid laner as well.
And now you have a Baroned up Mad Lions. Mid tower already gone. They can just threaten that inhibitor. Chasy on the bot side, you really can't just stand up to him as Szygenda with nearly 3 items completed onto this Irelia. So for the moment, Mad Lions free to do as they will around the map, and they will break open this top tower.
For the side of KOI, didn't want the can to fight back. Mad Lions, how much can they get on the back of this Baron? Should set their eyes in the mid lane shortly, look to break open that inhibitor for now. Focusing on the top side, splitting their resources. 3 on the top side, 1 in the mid, 1 in bot lane. More like a 4-1, essentially, as Nisqy can just collapse up to the top side if need be. Szygenda stepping forward to trade, but has to be careful here. Chasy can come over the wall at a moment's notice. Good news for KOI is they have the Azir. They have the luxury of a lot of wave clear. Ezreal, the range, the safety. You can see Mad Lions trying to counteract this by just ushering in these cannon minions, body blocking shots where they need to, but Chasy uncontested on the bot lane tower. Szygenda fishing for an angle. Szygenda looking, hoping to lock down one, knocking Hylissang back into the team, but the hook buffer is clean. Takes him back into safety once more. Meanwhile, Chasy already breaking open a tower. Trymbi knocked back into the waiting arms of Mad Lions. Again, can they burn through him? Healthy for now, but he will get taken out. Carzzy, knockup gonna come in under the back line on Szygenda, but Mad Lions, they know they've got the win if they play clean. They risk nothing. They play slow, they play steady, they play confident.
2 inhibitors down, now they have options. Do they try to close this one out now, or do they play patiently, fall back for the dragon? It looks like Mad want to end this series right now.
Ushering in the minion wave. No Baron buff to back them up. They can just look for the 3rd inhibitor. Taking their time on this one, hoping to isolate comp. Elyoya stepping forward, but there's no follow-up for the side of KOI. They cannot punish Elyoya for stepping in. Chasy getting chipped away at. A little bit of poke damage, but they have to be careful. They have to respect the potential for a stun. Not going to connect onto anybody now. They want to run Chasy down. Ulting and ult going wide. That could be disaster. They're trying to burn through the Irelia, but he goes golden. Nisqy waiting over the wall to look for the follow-up. Flash into safety from Chasy. This could be the turn. Again, going to find Hylissang at least. Comp going in to find one. Nisqy now backing away on the opposite side of the fight. The team now split. The stun will not connect. And only on Szygenda. Larssen turning it back. Larssen wants to be the difference maker, but Elyoya now just leaping out to safety. Carzzy will get taken down. Massive shutdown for the side of KOI. Mad Lions get 2 inhibitors, but they do not get the 3rd. They do not get the base. They do not get the game. KOI stand strong and look to turn this fight as Elyoya will fall.
KOI with a big fight as they punish Mad over aggression. It was only a small overstep from Chasy, but in Mad's attempts to keep their top laner alive, it results in multiple kills. Nisqy
trying to burn through. Doesn't quite have the damage. Can't quite finish the kill. Comp still standing. Nisqy overstaying. Nisqy now on the run. Malrang already taking the Drake. Gonna grab one more chem tech for the side of KOI, get them that much closer to soul point, a potential out, a potential avenue back into this game.
Larssen TP'd in to make sure they can take this. Nisqy very low. They could actually just turn onto the Gragas off the back of this as well.
Trying to burn him down, but they have no smite, which makes it easy for KOI to secure this one. Hylissang coming in, but it might be too little too late. Larssen can just shifting sands right over the wall, and they should escape scot-free.
Hylissang on the chase, but I don't think he's going to get much off the back of this. Malrang wants to try and get what farm he can, as Hilly walks in alone to get some vision back.
I mean, brave move from Hilly, but you feel confident at the moment, right? KOI have nothing left in their base. All 3 inhibitor turrets are down. And even though Chasy did overstep here, misses on the ultimate, which might have been able to set it up, it's definitely an overextension from Mad. There was no need for them to try and overpush here. And Chasy immediately gets punished.
I mean, at this point, Chasy did have flash, and he could have just flashed over the wall to safety. But he thought, you know what, we're strong enough to actually turn and fight. And that was overconfidence on the side of the Mad Lions. They didn't have the health bars. They needed to spend their gold. And they ended up getting punished. Now, this is only a small reprieve for KOI, as while they did get a number of shutdowns and will be able to get a few more items, Mad also had a lot of money to spend and will come back out onto the map stronger than what we saw from them in the last fight.
But you can see total damage dealt to champions in that last fight. Comp is getting stronger. Comp is starting to hit hard in these exchanges. It's no longer just Larssen that we need to look at. The Ezreal as well. As long as he can land these skill shots, 3.5 items, getting closer and closer. The AoE coming in from that Tiamat, looking for the Hydra.
You're just waiting for Mad Lions to group up. Hilly wandering out of base, Baron up in just a few seconds, and that's going to be exactly what they have in their eyes. I would be surprised to see them just start it up. I feel like just trying to push in your waves, keep KOI in their base is your best bet, but Mad trying to utilize the fact they have minions in the mid lane and super minions in that bot lane as well to try and bait KOI in.
Nisqy on the flank. Mad Lions.
Ooh, the damage is good from Comp.
Again, he's getting stronger and stronger. Nisqy not that tanky.
This is where we're starting to see the scaling from KOI really come in. You talked about the 3.5 items. That's really around the spike with which these champions excel. And maybe those last few picks were enough for KOI to go toe-to-toe with Mad. We'll have to wait and see. The Baron has begun.
Terrible guns for a fight, but he'll swap just in time. Hylissang waiting in the darkness, trying to zone away. 4K getting lower. They're going to try to lock Malrang down before the fight breaks out. TP now coming in. The Gnar will fade away as the fight starts off. There's nothing here for KOI. Szygenda coming over the wall, just trying to poke Nisqy. Nisqy can dash out to safety. Mad have already gotten the Baron. KOI have to be careful. If they bet too much here, they'll just instantly lose the game. Malrang now hooked up. Malrang really fall. Carzzy playing safe. Carzzy playing on the backside, draining guns away. Perfect guns for a fight now. Malrang stepping forward. Damage mitigated. Larssen! Larssen versus the world has come. Untouched on the backside, but the hook will land. The hook will be everything. Nisqy with the body slam flash, trying to take down Ezreal, Elyoya, the flash Q to follow, the flash Q to turn the tides again in their favor. KOI thought they had a one fight, but it is Mad Lions who show up. Szygenda's ult will not be enough. Mad Lions will take down KOI. Mad Lions will take the fight. They will look to end the game.
And Mad Lions will find their opportunity and revenge against G2 as Szygenda will fall, the base will fall to Chasy, and they have done it in a 3-1.
Mad Lions, the fight looked close. KOI did everything that they could, but it was not enough as Mad wipe apart KOI and will make their way to the finals.
Mad Lions resurge from 7th to Worlds, now to Finals in the LEC. They stand strong.
Mad Lions running the gauntlet here this weekend, taking down SK yesterday in what was a hard-fought series. This game was no easy feat either. While they found massive advantages in the top side of the map, you saw how difficult KOI made this game for them. A number of fights that could have easily swung the game completely in a different direction, but it was not enough. The top side of the map for Mad was just too strong, and the Bomber was just too explosive.
As promised.
It's so cool that we get to see Nisqy bringing this out all the time. Like, it's such a unique pick to him and opens up so much flexibility because you know Elyoya can bring it as well. But the damage that this Gragas is churning out in these fights is absolutely insane.
And I think, you know, honestly, at the end of the day, Mad Lions proving you can win on red side, shaking things up before we head to the finals tomorrow, showing us the power of some of these scaling picks, showing that they are willing to sacrifice their bot lane to get their top side ahead, and their bot lane can still impact these games.
And how exciting is it to see a team playing through top? You know, like, for the longest time, like, you know,
our region,
right,
the region of Orbs,
right.
Scions.
You know, it's so exciting as a European fan, especially when we think back to last Worlds, where top lane was probably the biggest mismatch between us and the rest of the world.
Yeah.
And now we get to see a player like Chasy stepping up and showing Europe that you can play through your top side of the map. You can give them carries, and you can really snowball them. And how dominant was that? We saw it similarly yesterday between SK and Mad, where we saw both top laners getting a bunch of resources and being massive factors when it came down to the late game. And it's just a joy to see Chasy had an incredible game. The mid jungle doing the same. And Mad Lions, they're looking good. They're looking strong as they go up against the final boss, which will be G2 tomorrow.
And a tall task for any team to be certain, as G2 have looked basically unstoppable. Have to see if Mad Lions can match that chaos, match that mid game, bring it home in some of those fights. But on the opposite side, for KOI, credit to them. Keeping that final game as close as it was due to like Herculean efforts coming in some of those team fights from individual members. Now, you can't fault the top side for falling behind. Ultimately, Mad Lions played super well in the early game, but it is only because the bottom half of the map played so well for KOI that game was even close. So really big shout out, especially to Larssen in that game for trying to bring it home.
This definitely felt like something that had already been pre-prepped by Mad coming into this, though, because when you look at the last few games, it has been K'Sante, Gnar, Judy coming through for Szygenda in that top side, and I think it was just a really good answer with the Irelia to shut that down, play heavily for that top end, and just not give them a chance to really get into it.
Admittedly, historically, playing through topside has always been KOI's weakness. Back when they were Rogue, this was a team that never really played through their top side of the map, and it's something that they've consistently struggled with. And props to Mad for recognizing that and taking advantage of it, because they did do a great job. I think that it's fair to say that Comp and Trymbi were able to get the better of Mad and Hylissang when isolated in the 2 versus 2.
Yeah.
But even when that happened, they found ways to get Carzzy back into the game. They made him relevant on the Aphelios. They were confident in giving him that blind pick, because in every single team fight, he still had massive value.
Gave him a pick that could scale, gave him a pick that had utility, made it work at the end of the day, something that has to be respected in tomorrow's series. For now, though, player of the series for this particular matchup, at LEC on Twitter, Chasy, Elyoya, Nisqy.
Has to be Chasy. It's Chasy. It's Chasy. You're welcome.
Yeah.
It's Chasy.
I mean, I'm still blown away. I'm still impressed. We are gearing up for an interview, moments away from that one for now.
But yeah, how exciting is this? Mad Lions making this run through the gauntlet. I think defying expectations to a degree, but like they're looking very strong.
We got it. We can toss to our winter finalist, Nisqy, standing by with Laure.
Amazing series today, Nisqy. Congrats on taking this one and reaching yet another final. Tell me about this draft. The reasoning behind it. I heard Bomba from the coach. I also heard that he was not quite sure because of the volatile matchup that you could close out this one. But yeah, tell me about coming up with Irelia and the rest of the draft.
I mean, the Gragas is a pick I just like. First of all, I just think it's fun and it's a strong champ, I believe. So I just played. And then on 5, we hesitated between a lot of champs, but Chasy said Irelia, and we were like, sure, like let's go Irelia. And yeah, he just played really good, and yeah.
Takes a lot of trust, I think, to just follow a teammate like this. Is this what it says about with Chasy here?
I mean, I said it before, but I think in our team, everyone is very, like, trustful, like everyone trusts each other. So like if I say I want to play, I don't know, Castadin, then they will be like, okay. Or if he says, I want to play Rel, then we let him play Rel. And I think it was the same for Chasy, where he was like, I want Irelia, and then we're like, sure, you know, pick it. And then, yeah, I mean, he did really good, so props to him.
Now what about the Gragas? You said you really love the champion. Does it come from watching FLICKR play it in the LCK? And how highly would you rate it right now?
I mean, I was actually practicing it before. I saw FLICKR play it, to be fair, in solo queue, because I played against a certain mid laner in scrims that played it against me, that I might play tomorrow. So I thought it was like decent pick, and then I tried, and it looked strong, and then I saw FLICKR play it, and I was like, maybe there's actually like something that I don't know, you know, and then I was just spamming it more and more, and at the end now I think I'm just comfy and I just play it,
FLICKR spying on your solo queue, could you believe? I talked to Elyoya yesterday and he was telling me that you guys were a bit hasty, not taking enough of your time playing this kind of composition and maybe not understanding how to fully play your compositions. Was it different today? How did you refine the approach against KOI?
I think it was a bit different for sure. I think yesterday our fights were really all over the place. I think today it was still all over the place, but at least we were kind of doing it together. But at the end, I mean, I think this is just our team identity where we just kind of do whatever in mid-game sometimes, and it happens. So I don't think we care that much about it. And yeah, I mean, I think we've been doing pretty good in general, like playing the map, playing early game, and yeah.
In Ready Check, we talked about the benefits that you draw from playing back-to-back series, unlike KOI, who was just playing today. But it's going to be 3 series for you guys. How exhausting is it? And tell me about prepping for this weekend and 3 different opponents.
I mean, for prepping, I think it's mostly coaching staff. To be fair, I think they do a really good job of like, I don't know how they do it. Like maybe they go home, they prepare at like midnight or in the morning. I don't know how they do it, but we had prep for every single team. I mean, basically the last 2 teams we played, and I believe we'll also have prep for tomorrow because we play G2 in the finals, which is going to be very exciting. Very exciting, especially because you're going to have your mom watching you for the first time. She's coming to the studio. She saw you win today. She will watch you play finals tomorrow. What does it mean to you to have her here? I mean, having family here is, for me, a big boost. Like, yesterday, I really didn't want to lose. I don't want them to travel like 7 hours and then just lose and go home. So I made sure we won. And today, I mean, my team played really good, and I think I also played decent. So now we're in the finals, and hopefully we win as well tomorrow. Even though it's not going to be that easy, I think. It's going to be a spicy series, of Very course. Spicy, yeah. Got the mom buff with you, Nisqy. Thank you so much for the interview. And Shox, back to you in PGL.